Hello there. How are you guys? Hmm. So, today I don't know what topic I should choose for today's reading. Maybe a little. I have this very beautiful amethyst crystal right there. It's raw. Um, don't personally believe in materialism because we are having too much of it, and many people are focusing more on the beauty of these things right there. They are focusing more on these than focusing on the um not focusing but basically giving regard to the um how do you say it, miserability of the miners and the people who actually mine those ores out for us. Are very few ones that I bought like in the starting of my journey of tarot. During that time when I was like fed up with I was also fed with all these materialistic things that you need to have 10 decks of cards. You need to have at least 7 crystals in your hand. So I have this beautiful selenite right there. It's a shiny crystal. I don't know if you can see. I think it's hard to see how this. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, um, we are still doing another tarot card reading today. I don't know why I want to put so many crystals out in here, but this gives me a lot of I don't know. It reminds me a lot of earth sign energy. It also reminds me a lot of the fact that we are the beings of earth and we will go back to the earth, right? We will go back to the same place where we came from. I'm kind of getting that universal law type of stuff. So, sweet. Hmm. I don't know why I want to see what messages will come here for you guys today. I'm shuffling this Wild Unknown Archetype deck by Kim Krantz. And we've already got one card in here, the Flame. The flame usually signifies the archetype of passion, the archetype of hope. Hmm. I was listening to this, not very weird, but there is this channel. I forgot its name, Mrs. Baddie or Mr. Baddie, I forgot. But in that channel, this person will actually like give a lot of philosophical insights um, in the form of a angel that looks a lot more like a creepy human being looking into your eyes. And they were just saying, they were spreading a message, right? That are you really trying to, do you really wish for peace or do you really wish for chaos to speak your language? And this is the question, right? Like, are we really healing ourselves? Our nectar talks a lot about heal. Oh, I really love how it is like covering my eye. Yeah, nectar talks about healing. It talks about basically it's basically talking about a balm that we apply on our body to heal ourselves. And healing, as compared to what many people think, it's not an easy process. It's a very, yeah, nectar by nature might be very soft, very shiny, very alluring. Nectar by nature can be very alluring, very good looking, but um it's not the nectar that is suppose it is not the nectar, right? It is basically like the power of healing is uh, is The power of healing, yeah, the nectar contains that, but the process of healing is something that we experience within ourselves, right? So this is the question: is it, are you trying to create a world by, like, the question is, the world doesn't need another righteous destroyer. It doesn't need another person who destroys people or places or things or any other bad people, cruel people. It doesn't require a righteous destroyer. It requires a person who can build this world back again, even if their hands are trembling, right? um, so that's the kind of compassion, that's the kind of strength that we are being asked in this point of our lives. um, so I found that video very profound for myself. And when I see the flame in here, yeah, when I talk about the flame in here, the flame in here reminds me that, yeah, you might, it's like, yeah, there is hope out there. You can use the candle's flame to either burn this world or burn the people whom you're hating on, or you can use this candle to light the way for the ones who need guidance, right? It's one or the two. Okay, this is the back of the deck. The thread card. Very beautiful card, basically. This talks about taking a. Actually, I really like how the thread card has come in here, and we have the flame in here. It basically talks a lot about the so-called soulmate, the so-called twin flame journey, but mostly it talks about purpose. It talks a lot about purpose. The back of the deck is a thread card. So the thread card basically talks about this vision of going ahead, right? Like this vision of, I don't know why I'm getting making a galway, making a galway. What does galway mean? Wait a second. Maybe Ireland could be significant for someone here. Galway seems to be a place in Ireland. Uh, yeah. So what was I saying in here? I was saying that, um, what was I saying? To be more purposeful. Wait a second. Thread talks about the vision. The thread talks about um a vision. It talks about taking the taking the candle and lighting the way towards the vision that we are aligning towards, right? But the but with the nectar coming here in between, the nectar card mostly talking about healing, and it talks about how, so it's basically like saying that your purpose, you have the flame for your purpose, but instead of taking the path where you you can burn down the obstacles, you're being asked to not not burn down the obstacles, but you can burn down, yeah, you can burn down the obstacles. You're being asked to light the path for people, to show them how to overcome these obstacles, right? It's not just, it's like life isn't a journey where you are just cutting down the mountains. It's also a journey where you are learning to help other people and the other generation learn how to overcome the mountains as well. Yeah, you must have seen like these old civilizations, these old temples, these old places and ancient civilizations having ancient technologies and everything else, right? Yeah, they did overcome. If I think there are still some temples in India where there's a lot of advanced technology being used there. Like some of the metals in that temple do not rust. They don't rust even after 800 or 500 years, right? So the technology that was used in those temples to preserve the metals in that temple, I still don't remember which temple I'm talking about, but there are things like that. Okay, if that technology wasn't passed down to us, that guidance was not given to us to help us guide through the life, to help us guide through life, right? That type of guidance wasn't given to us. Instead, we got an obstacle that was like some of our ancestors overcame that obstacle, but nobody taught us how to wield that information, how to wield that knowledge. So what happened is that as the generations passed down, we forgot, right? That's what happens many times with colonization of cultures. And when we are not able to wield the information that our ancestors were already given to us, we end up forgetting what we had once, what type of what sort of light we need to embody within us to guide other people around us, right? So, this is the kind of energy that I'm getting in here. I don't know why I was talking about minors and minds a lot. Um, yeah, I was talking about that. What I felt was like, yeah, like many people like go around in the witchy spaces, which talk. That's what they call it. So yeah, they go around those spaces and they're like, this stone is gonna help you increase your intuition. This stone will protect your ass from different type of demonic spirit, blah blah blah, whatever they do. So it no, it doesn't does that. I think it's more about if you do not understand that those resources were came from someone's immense hard work, immense hard work, immense sweat, the kind of hard work that we cannot even imagine. And despite being paid for far more less than what they should be paid for their little for their hard work, right? Um, like these could be laborers and miners who could be working in those mines for days and nights, and all they get is like 200 rupees for their work, poor wages, right? And yeah, like our like the thing is like the thing is nobody taught these so-called witchy talk people to actually like understand that like i- it's okay to believe that some certain things can actually give you like that type of idolatry that you're doing with the stones is all right, but you should kind of understand that there is a lot of pain and sweat that came behind those stones. And it's not just like, don't just treat them like some consumerism based products that you can buy whenever you want, right? They are much more worth than that, especially to a person who must have worked in mines to get those things out. For them those things are worth their entire rations or their salaries, who might know. That's the thing. Maybe the person who is shipping these stones to you or is selling these stones to you in the market is asking you of $2,000 or something like that. But people who have mined this must have. I don't think like they ever get the amount of money that they actually worked on it. Maybe some of them do, but most of them it's really hard to tell because many of these environments are very are like these types of job environments are very exploitatory by nature, right? Yeah, so I was kind of getting that, like, learn to wield that sort of, I don't know, that sort of learn to wield telling people or informing people of that sort of um what we say, um learn to make them aware of uh, these little things that they might be missing out on about other people, right? Like, it's not just about this thing or that thing can increase your crown chakra energy. It's also about there's a certain level of empathy that you should have for the people who are going in mines and actually taking these things out, because they certainly mean their lives to them, like these little stones that you buy right there, and not every one of them gets paid. So there's a lot of pain and sweat going through these things. I really want you to understand that. So whenever you just, pick your stone and you're trying to like sage it and everything, understand that the energy that you're maybe trying to sage away or everything else, above all that stone was, maybe there's an energy of a very hardworking person who took that stone out of the caves and the mines, okay? So learn to respect that. Learn to respect those people who are bringing these things to you. Like, that's how healing works, right? That's how, like, healing is more about like making ourselves aware with the information that we think is unimportant, or not. Healing is not that, but it's basically like make yourself aware about the things like these. It's not just hmm, the first card is a magician in reverse. I was getting this in the start, I was getting like someone is doubting their own self, their own practice, their own ritual, because I was feeling a little bit friction or resistance when when I first decided to talk about um what do we say? Like the witch talk videos when we were talking about that, I felt a little bit resistance. Page of Wands in reverse. By the way, this is Lisa Robertson's Mermaid Tarot deck. It's a beautiful deck. I love this deck. I don't care what many people say about it. It's beautiful to me. Yeah. I cringed when I said that. I don't care what people talk about it. Like, whatever. Nobody's even like, why was I even bothered enough to talk about that opinion? I feel like maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not trying to project anything, but don't take it if it doesn't resonate. But many of you guys could be feeling I don't know. It's kind of giving me, yeah. See, persistent thoughts. Like, many of you, this is Nine of Wands upright, and what came after Nine of Wands upright is Hangman, Hangman upright. Yeah, I just feel like you could feel like your opinions are being. Yeah, I feel like many of you are. I'm not. I feel like many of you, instead of focusing on the work that you're doing, on the things that you need to say, or instead of producing the magic that you are capable of producing, many of you could be having this feeling or this inkling that I'm not saying that maybe you aren't enough, but it's giving me that you're trying too hard to stand, like maybe you're trying too hard to stand on your business rather than, and maybe the reason why you're doing so, maybe the reason why you're like standing so hard trying to fight against the external pressure, trying to fight against the external noise so much, is maybe because you aren't that there is uh, you aren't that practical, you aren't that practical about creating this message, or you aren't very practical about um creating a step by step map towards this journey. I don't know why I just feel like Spirit is calling me out as well on this one. Because I'm a little bit delusional as well on my own journey and path. But yeah, I kind of feel like there's this energy going on in here that maybe you guys are like trying too hard to stand up for yourself. Maybe you're trying to burn the entire house just to like stand up for yourself. But instead of um, instead of focusing on what needs to be focused. Maybe your plan towards success or towards moving towards the things that you actually like, because this page of wands in reverse, it gives me that maybe your starting steps aren't this good, or maybe you're distracted, you're idealizing your next steps or something like that. We have four of cups in reverse. Yeah, and four of swords upright. Four of cups in reverse, four of swords upright. This gives me a lot of it definitely gives me a lot. Yeah, laziness is an energy that I'm getting in here, but also, but laziness is something I'll call as four of swords reverse, not upright. But paired with four of cups in reverse, this just gives me a lot of deadbeat. Yeah, that gives me, it gives me deadbeat energy. It gives me depressed energy. It gives me a person who is not able to see through things, through what is, they are not able to see through their own, like they cannot, they, it just feels like this person can't see their own light, because they're so drunk. Like, look at this person, they are drinking so much, they're not able to see their own light, they're not able to understand their own wisdom, the wisdom that they are not able to understand their own wisdom. It just, I don't know the wisdom that the nine of swords entails. So maybe there's a lot of depression going on, because four of cups in reverse also talks about depression, right? So there could be this energy as well. Maybe for some of you, like there was this nine of swords energy. Maybe you have cried a lot about something that was hurting you, was really, really hurting you. And maybe now you are coming to a point in your life where, yeah, I think maybe after all that hurt and everything, you're deciding to rest or take a break. I don't know why I see a person in this card, like in this area. It literally reminds me of one of those. There is this. There are these rocks, right? These famous rocks with American presidents' faces carved in that huge rock or huge mountain. I don't know, something about this reminds me of that, like this site in here. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, it just feels like maybe for many of you, you did a very great thing. You did a very huge thing. Yeah, it's a huge amount of success or something like that. You've carved your name somewhere. And now I think, you are, like, I just feel like, yeah, you're done. You're sleeping away. For many of you, you could, like, it could feel as if maybe many of you could be, like, I don't know why there's an energy of sleeping away on your potential here right now. That's the energy that I'm getting right here. Mm. The moon in reverse. The moon in reverse gives me an energy of not listening to yourself, not listening to what you want to do. Hmm. So I think this could be something around the path of your own success, right? Maybe your, maybe the highlight of this reading is for you to understand how to channel this healing energy, or understand how to guide people, or how to guide the people surrounding you. But I don't know, I'm also getting like a current energy where you guys could be taking it a lot. Yeah, there's a bunch of cards that's coming. And I'm getting queen cards again and again. So I feel like there's a lot of internal, I don't know why I'm getting internal bully or internal pressure. Man, Nine of Pentacles in reverse and Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I don't know why I wanted to say upright in my head. When I see these two cards in here, this is the world card, if you can see this. And this is the nectar card right here. This is the world card, and this is the nectar card right here. And this is the 10 of cups. You see how many doors are there? How many doors and windows are there? One, two, three. There are lots of doors and windows, if you can see that. That's the same thing with here. Like there's a small opening in here, and a red thread is going. Yeah, it's going like right in between that, right? So I just feel like I think maybe maybe there's a group of friends, maybe there's a group of community people that you love and everything else. I feel like I don't know why, but I just feel like there is some sort of um acceptance. Maybe there is some sort of world. With the world card, I just feel like there is some sort of ending, some sort of illusion that is coming to an end or something like that. Maybe there is some sort of mental clarity that you're getting. Maybe there was some sort of mental illness that is healing you, and maybe you're trying to find a way through uh, the crowd towards the things that are pulling towards the things that are pulling you, right? Towards that thread that is pulling you. But then, very weirdly enough, I got this card, Five of Swords in reverse. And if you see Five of Swords in reverse, if you see it properly enough, there is this person's hands. There's blood in this person's hands, and this person is you having a sword. Okay, see. So, like, and in the thread card, we have a person holding a thread in their hands. So I don't know why. I just feel like this kind of gives me a suicidal feeling. It kind of gives me a self sabotage energy. Basically, it just gives me like maybe someone is trying to cut their own thread of wisdom or their own thread of faith, maybe because they don't want to reach their purpose anymore. Yeah, it just gives me an energy of someone giving up on their purpose or someone giving up on what they absolutely loved or they wanted to do in their life. So I don't know, maybe there was some sort of investment that was made, right? There is Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This gives me an energy of maybe whatever was invested on wasn't worth investing on or something like that. So this person is losing hope, they are losing their own wisdom and everything else. I'm getting Chariot card. So I just feel like for many of you guys, you're being asked to be more determined towards going where you want to go. Make a plan, go towards it. I think I'm also getting, because Chariot card talks a lot about strategizing. It also gives me like maybe you're being asked to strategize and make a fulfilling path for yourself, right? Yeah. I don't know why, but maybe you were standing up for your own goals, your own ethics, your own morals for such a long time that I think finally the pain and the hurt got you. And then for many of you, maybe you decided to give up on your goals because for many of you, I think you wasted too much time on hating on someone or on, um, I'm getting selfish, crapping out. But okay, yeah. So what I was getting was that maybe you were like trying to fight so hard for such a long time that maybe for many of you decided to give up, or there was like an energy of I don't know, like, yeah, I'm also getting like maybe for many of you, you thought that you had accomplished everything, you have reached the pinnacle of perfection, there's nothing else left to do. So now you decided to rest, but it's like Yeah, it's like internally you've kind of like told yourself that you aren't worth doing anything else anymore, because there's like, when you are so engrossed into doing one thing for every single day in your life, all you think about is like you forget to do other things in life, and you just realize that you're not that good in those other things, right? And maybe because of that you kind of feel a little bit dejected, rejected. You kind of feel like starting something new starting something new won't be worth it, because you just don't know how to do it, right? And maybe you just try to create your entire world. Maybe you just try to create your entire world, maybe try to create your entire world on standing up for your goals, standing up for the things that you like. And I'm also getting like a survival mechanism, because this Nine of Wands also talks about a wounded warrior. So you have been defending those nine wands for so many years in your life, and that was your entire world for such a long time, right? And I think suddenly shifting your perspective and watching these new doors is kind of like hurting you, because you maybe you don't want to remember how incapable you are the thread to follow the thread to follow the thread that one of these doorways might have, right? Maybe that's the energy that is going on in here. Maybe, okay, it's general reading, take it how it resonates. Again, we have moon in the reverse in the back of the deck. Again, uh we have knight of swords in reverse. Hmm. Moon in reverse and Knight of Swords in reverse gives me a lot of doom scrolling energy. I won't lie to you, because when we doom scroll, we aren't taking control of our minds basically, and it's a process where our minds are being controlled and manipulated, or it's a process where our minds are being algorithmized. If yeah, our minds are being like processed by a algorithm that is processing things and bits of information for us, so we end up feeling numb. No real realization happens, right? That's the moon in reverse energy. And the Knight of Swords in reverse, it definitely gives me a lot of energy, like a lot of information, small bits of information that are being chucked down. I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, take a small goal and commit to it. That's what I'm getting. Take a small goal and commit to it. Take a small bite-sized goal and commit towards it. Right? You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to self-sabotage yourself or call yourself incapable just because you decided to take some time for resting and not actually I don't know, I'm getting like preparing for the things that you were supposed to prepare for, or for creating whatever, like preparing for the things that you were supposed to, or for creating the things that you wanted to create. You don't need to feel guilty for taking a rest, because it seems like maybe you've done a lot of, I don't know, weird things, I think you've done a lot of great things in life. Maybe you call them a lot of, maybe you try to label it as weird things, stupid things, and you try to lessen its worth, and you kind of have, maybe you could have like the self-critical tendencies here, kind of getting that. Yeah, I'm getting improvised properly. Wait a second. Dang, I did not even think the word improvise would just come in my head, but I just searched what improvise means, and they said improvise means to make up something on the spot and figure out as you go. They are telling you, your advice is to improvise it properly and go towards it. I don't know, but if there is the self sabotage tendency uh, that you have, I think Yeah, I'm also getting a lot of egoistical energy, bro. I want to like shift this narrative. I want to shift this egoistical narrative. I know that it's a bit late. We are like 35 minutes in. I don't want to do too much. Yeah. So, Eight of Cups is like, let go of, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of idea that you're holding on to. There is some sort of label, there is some sort of identity. I'm getting misidentity, okay? If there is a misidentity right there that you haven't let go of, please let go of it. Eight of Cups is telling you that the last identity that you had about yourself as a person isn't working for you anymore. This is kind of like, telling an this is a very, I've got a very beautiful example in my mind, okay? So singers and artists, the thing about them, they will sing the same song every concert again and again and again and again and again and again. I'll talk about Gautier, or Gautier, I don't know what is, but his song, somebody, somebody I used to know, somebody. So this was a song that made him famous everywhere, right? And people were like trying to say, like they wanted Gautier to sing that song everywhere. But the thing is, he as an artist doesn't identifies with that one song just because that song became popular. There are many songs that an artist can actually feel connected to because that's their music, right? But many people don't want to listen those other musics that artists have produced because they don't because they want that artist to repeat that same music, repeat singing that same music again and again, because that's the commercial, because that is what they want to listen. um and that's kind of like called the commercialization of art and creative success and everything, right? So that's what I'm getting, kind of like, if the like the ego that you might have, I feel like this is an ego thing. Like this is something that you thought that you used to be, someone that you thought you used to be. Maybe you aren't aligning with that anymore. Maybe that thought, that idea doesn't fits with your fits with you anymore. It isn't serving any purpose anymore. You don't feel it in your soul anymore. Maybe you should let go of that identity. Maybe you're not that person anymore. Maybe you're somebody else. I don't know, somebody magical. Yeah, I'm getting two of wands in the back of the deck. There are many cards that are trying to pull up, show up, and everything. I don't know. Yeah, but basically what I'm getting is that, basically with the two of wands in here, I'm getting that I saw a really scary figure on the window just now. But yeah, I'm kind of getting that. Yeah, yeah. Get over the ghost of who you used to be, right? Get over the ghost of who you used to be, and try to play in with the person you are now. Two of wands. It's time to move on. It's time to move ahead. It's time to move to a different position in your life right now, right? Yeah, I don't know. This could be a situation where someone was taking a lot of things away from you, and maybe that became your identity for a while. But you're not that anymore. Like, human beings are fluid, so you're somebody else right now. Live that someone else. Then trying to be the person that many people want you to be or are expecting you to be. That's not who you are anymore, right? So delete it, leave it behind. Yeah. So I think yeah, I think that is the thing that I think maybe you are kind of trying to, yeah, maybe this healing of this wound is going to turn you into a completely different person. Maybe your scars are going to look completely different. This is how it happens, right? Once you get a cut, the tissue and the cells that are replacing the wounded part is going to be a new cell. It's going to be a new tissue, right? So that's the thing. That is the process of healing. It will replace it with something new. And maybe it's that thing that you need to that your body needs to accept, that it needs to accept the pain of losing something old, processing it, and coming and becoming something new, right? I think that is the energy that is what is coming out for you guys right now. This is the last card that I'm getting, the gem in reverse. So the gem in reverse talks a lot about materialism. Uh, it's basically not looking at yourself like the gem, the precious person that you are, but rather than looking at yourself like a material, like an object. Okay, that is what gem in reverse means. Times. Dang, I think I saw that this vessel wants to come upright. So I feel like this is the energy. I don't know, for many of you could be like suffering from body objectification. I don't know. I could also, I could sense like this, with the body and vessel coming in here. This gives me a lot of overtly sexualized energy or objectification of a human being sort of energy. um maybe people identify you more as an archetype rather than the person that you are, and maybe it's time to like kind of, take care of yourself, learn to take care of yourself, learn to take care of your body, of your vessel. Yeah, don't reject yourself for not being the archetypal archetype of whatever people whatever people imagine you to be, right? Like, you are precious, you are seriously, you're very precious. You're a gemstone in yourself. But you don't need, but do not objectify yourself. That's the thing that is coming through. Stop objectifying your scars and understand that your body is learning to heal. Your body is learning to create new sacred things for yourself, new tissues for yourself to replace those old wounds. That is what your body is trying to do. Accept your body for the precious thing. Accept your healing. Accept your healing power. Accept the healed wounds for the precious healing that they provide, rather than objectifying them and uh, calling them ugly or calling them not so good looking. That's Leave that objectification behind. Your brokenness is not, it doesn't mean that you're broken. It basically talks about your strength with which you have endured so much, and y- it places a lot of value on the strength and the toughness that of your own soul and your spirit, right? So don't let it go. Don't let that go for something. See, in this body and vessel, there is something shiny in here, right? Yeah, that's why I was just thinking, why was I showing off these little stones in the start? Yeah, that's the thing. These little stones, they might be shiny and everything, but that's not the only thing about them, right? Like these are something that came from Mother Earth. These are some things, these are the stones, these are the babies of Mother Earth, right? These are the things that Mother Earth produced from its own soil to, it's a wonderful miracle. And that's why it is connected to our Mother Earth so deeply, and so um like it came directly from there, right? So that's the thing. If but it but that's why it shouldn't be epitomized as some shiny little stone, or should be bought, not bought, but basically should be like kind of understood as a shiny little stone, or a really cool looking thing that you can put as an exhibit around your house. Maybe there's a lot more meaning to it. Maybe you need to understand how to see a meaning of how to see the preciousness of a stone without objectifying its non-living nature, right? Yeah, it's kind of the energy that I'm getting today. So take care of yourself. I don't know why I'm getting heavy flows and everything, but I was thinking about a river card in the back of this. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm getting that. Like, let it flow, let your energy flow. Maybe there's a lot of heavy emotions that are coming through. Let them flow. Let it all go. And if this is the last moment that you need to do something, improvise something. So that's it for today. Take care. Take a good care of yourself. Bye bye.